Well, welcome back, Chubby Chasers, and thank you for joining me again. Well, the reason I've made this video is I've come across a little bit of a problem with my Paramotor, and I really need your help in trying to solve it. Now, this you'll probably remember is my Nirvana Instinct NS200 Paramotor, and this is me being hung in it for the first time. Now, the first challenge is to make sure that you can adequately get into the seat when flying around. This did prove a bit of a challenge for me initially because I wasn't able to get the seat to adequately support the back of my legs, but Matt came up with a great solution. Check out this leg strap.
Okay, too long.
Too short? Too short? Okay. Sorry.
Too long.
Yeah.
Now we're just having a little play around with the actual length of the strap here. Getting the strap to the right length is critical, but you'll see that once we actually did adjust the leg strap, we kind of found a really good solution for being able to get into the Paramotor. You see here, you kind of lever yourself in and pull your trousers down at the same time.
I can pull my trousers down.
Now, to be honest with you, it's not a new solution. A lot of paragliders use these leg straps to get them into their harness when they're free flying. So this proved to be a pretty good solution for me for the Paramotor. Once I got myself seated into this Paramotor, it was awesome. It was so comfortable, it was like being in an armchair. Now, one thing I did learn on this course was how important it is to be hung in your Paramotor before you decide to fly it. And I've discovered how lucky I was that I never actually managed to get off the ground in this Paramotor, because you'll see shortly there were some issues with my positioning. Now, if you've just bought yourself a Paramotor and you're planning on going out flying, I would advise you very, very strongly to go through this procedure. Have somebody who is fairly experienced with paramotors, assess your hanging position and alter your straps accordingly, and more importantly, make sure that you fit in the thing to start with. Now, you can see here Matt fiddling around with the straps. What he's trying to do is get this Paramotor hung on my back at the right angle. The Paramotor has to lean back slightly. This helps you get the correct thrust vector to help push you upwards into the air when you take off. If the Paramotor tilts forward slightly, it has a tendency to push you into the ground. Then you have to do a lot more running to eventually get yourself into the sky. So after a lot of pushing and pulling, Matt finally gets the Paramotor into a position that he's happy with.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
And I was pretty happy with the position too, apart from my trousers coming down.
Yep. You comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from trousers coming down now.
Well, that's all right.
Talk about that.
We've seen a few asses in our time, haven't we, fellas? And I'll have a look at the weather, so we can...
So all in all, I was pretty happy and getting really excited because this was the morning I was going to attempt my first ever foot launch.
There we go.
Until it all went wrong with just one question.
Can you get out of it?
Right, yep, okay.
Hands up.
Hands up. So, putting the straps arse out. I'm out of it. Fucking hanging backwards.
So all in all, this turned out to be fairly critical. If you can get into your Paramotor seat but you can't get out of it, you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble when you come to land.
Can you loosen up your legs too?
Loosen the legs.
Now, we tried everything we could think of, Matt played around with a lot of the adjustments on the straps. We read the handbook. The handbook wasn't really useful.
Did you mean the leg straps, these, or this?
No, the leg straps.
They're as loose as they go. There's nothing. They should have been a lot tighter.
Matt's pretty limited in his experience with the Nirvana. He tends to deal with a different brand of paramotor. So we were stuck, and really it soured the morning, because this was my morning to foot launch. Now, I don't know whether there's anybody out there who's got any advice or has any ideas. One of the things that I did think about afterwards was whether this would be different when I was actually flying. The reason I say that is because when I hung in this sling, the actual width of the risers is a slightly different width and a different angle to the width of the risers on my wing. And the reason I noticed this was when I was hung in the retractor trike, I found that the seat was very snug and tight around my thighs. But when I actually flew the retractor trike, it wasn't snug anymore. It's quite loose and a lot more comfortable. So we reasoned then that the riser angle and the width of the risers was different, which was why I found it more comfortable flying around with the retractor trike. That did make me think afterwards then whether it would be different when I'm in the air, that the difference in the riser width and the riser angle might be enough to help that seat get back under my backside. So maybe that's something that I can try once I get my Paramotor back, because right now it's still with Spanish Customs. It's been there for quite a while. The good news is though, they cleared it yesterday. So I've just been told Spanish Customs are happy that they don't want me to pay an extortionate amount of tax on belongings I've owned for years, and it's going to be delivered here in about 4 or 5 days time. So perhaps when I get that, maybe I should try rehanging myself in it again and seeing if that makes any difference. Would love to hear your thoughts, and let me just thank everybody again for watching these videos. Thanks to all the subscribers. 463 subscribers as I make this video. That is pretty phenomenal. So thank you again. If you're enjoying these videos, please subscribe, clank that bell icon, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video. Bye for now.